If you love crossovers, thank Toyota. If you hate crossovers, blame Toyota. They invented them with the RAV4. And here's the latest, the 4th generation, the 2013. Let's drive this limited edition front-wheel drive and check the tech. Now, as you can see, Toyota did not dramatically reproportion the RAV4. They did dramatically restyle it, though. It's about an inch shorter, about an inch wider. What you do see is a much more dramatic, pointy nose, and those kind of shoulders where the tail lights live. Those really set off the new model more than anything from the outside. Now, the first thing you're going to notice in the new RAV4 is the interior is much nicer. It's not so utilitarian. In fact, it's actually kind of ritzy. Now, the main star of the show, of course, is the head unit. We have two major head unit choices on this Limited. First of all, you can get display audio, which is LCD with entertainment and Bluetooth and all that on there and some vehicle settings. And your sources will be AM, FM, CD, aux, USB with iPod support, and you'll also have Bluetooth streaming, all in the base display unit. If you upgrade to the navigation rig, you also get satellite radio, HD radio with iTunes tagging, and of course, Entune apps. The Entune apps roll in iHeartRadio and Pandora, so roll in more media choices as well when you get navigation. It's really the smart way to go, as you'll see when we check the prices later. There's lots of pros and cons to this full-on head unit. First of all, the navigation voice is really good. You press this button, you blurt out the whole address, and it finds it.
Van Ness Avenue, San Francisco.
It was even good with a fuzzy search I did. I said, take me to Twin Peaks in San Francisco, which is kind of an undefined sort of a search term, and it figured it out. A downside, though, is that the voice command doesn't work for the Entune apps. So you can use voice command to do all kinds of things for communication, navigation, and such, but you cannot use it to do a Bing search, for example, or to tell it to do something with iHeartRadio or Pandora. So it's a mixed bag here. Now, in terms of what you're listening to and how it gets out to the speakers, you can also option up JBL audio, which takes you from 6 speakers and kind of nondescript amplification to 10 speakers and a powered sub with JBL audio amps behind it. Let's talk about some driving tech now. The BSM button down here, blind spot monitor. Not on every RAV4, but a lot of the packages have that, like our nav package, and that gives you little indicators in the mirror, but no correction if you're drifting into someone. Also has cross-traffic alert. It'll keep you from backing into someone who's going to hit you sideways. The main story here is that we've got a transmission that is a 6-speed, but it's a faux 6. It's actually a CVT with variable pulleys, but that's better than the 4-speed cogged transmission that we had in the outgoing model. That was positively antiquated. The Soviets were loaning them to Toyota or something. No paddles on the wheel, but you can drop it back here into a gate for sport mode and then shift within there up and down. Now, of course, crossover vehicles descend from sport utility vehicles, so the utility matters in these guys. Let's check it out on the rear end of the RAV4. First of all, power liftgate on this model because it's high trim. I gotta say, it's one of the slower ones to start, and it's pretty slow to go up. I only bring it up because you get impatient day in and day out with slow power tailgates. This one kind of got on my nerves after a while. Fold flat second row, and it's very easy. One lever at the side of the seat, and whack, it goes down. No screwing around with multiple sort of levers and pulls. You'll also notice they no longer offer a third row option. The engine's a new story as well. The engine's not really new, but now you no longer have the choice of a 6-cylinder. It's an inline 4, or you're not getting a RAV4 at all. That's your choice. The numbers, 176 horse, 172 foot-pounds of torque. Gets this 3,500-pound vehicle to 60 in about 9 seconds. That's very average for its class. The MPG is not bad though, 2431 is nothing to complain about. Now, we have a front-wheel drive car here. It's also an all-wheel drive variant. And limited slip differential is included on this front-wheel drive as well. Now, I'll tell you, first thing you notice about driving this car is there's not much to notice. The power comes on just fine. You don't miss the V6 not being here, really. What you do notice, though, is there's a little bit of that yo-yo effect that is sort of a CVT and a 4-cylinder that's kind of struggling a little bit. That does lead to some sort of strange kind of loopy, spooly acceleration. But there's plenty of power here. It's just not real responsive. I'm not crazy about the degree and note of the engine noise you hear. It's not the kind of engine noise that you listen to and go, sounds good. It's the kind that goes, engine. Eco and Sport don't seem to make much of a difference in the drive feel. And the shiftable gate over here, this is not a responsive transmission in terms of its faux 6 gears. I would never use it in kind of a sport way. It doesn't really pay off. Leave it in drive and you're fine. Okay, let's price this 2013 Limited front-wheel drive, about 29 grand delivered. Remember, this is top of the stack. $1,400 more will get you all-wheel drive. As a driving experience, it remains a relatively high-tech, good value, civilized driving machine, but it's not going to blow you away in any one direction.